Hey guys, what's up? I'm Sriniket and welcome back to the channel. So this is the third episode of the Auto Update series, which is regarding the upcoming bikes and cars which will be launched in the Indian market in the coming days. So today let's talk about one of the most highly anticipated and one of the hottest looking cars from an Indian manufacturer, the DC TCA. The TCA was officially showcased at the 2018 Auto Expo for the first time. And initially the plans were to power this car with a 3.8 litre naturally aspirated V6 from Renault Sport, producing around 350 horsepower. But until very recently, there were no official updates regarding the TCA. But now, Mr. Dilip Shabria himself has officially revealed some of the new updates on the TCA in a recent interview. And today we'll be discussing about these updates in detail. The first and the most important update regarding the TCA is that now it will be only offered with an electric drivetrain. That comes as a big shock for us enthusiasts, as we were eagerly waiting for a V6 powered Indian sports car. And you must have a few questions like what was the reason, why did Mr. DC electric drivetrain and completely ditch a naturally aspirated engine? Where there are a few obvious reasons which Mr. Shabria explained in his recent interview. The first reason is the lessons learned from the failure of the DC Avanti. Well, as the DC Avanti did not comply with the global safety standards and even the emission norms, it was not allowed to sell in those markets. In India, people have a mentality of associating manual transmission cars as cheaper cars, and as the Avanti was offered with only a manual transmission despite costing nearly 45 lakh rupees, a lot of potential customers simply shied away from the Avanti, as they were not petrol heads nor auto enthusiasts like us. And that's the reason why DC struggled to sell more than 200 units of the Avanti in India. And that turned out to be a huge failure for the Avanti, as nearly 200 crores have been invested in the Avanti project till now. The second reason is that the TCA is basically the same as the Avanti underneath, which means that it gets the same chassis as the Avanti and still can't comply with the global safety standards. Then how can DC aim to sell the car in the global market? Well, a few exemptions can be made in the safety rules in those markets explained by Mr. DC, which are that if a limited number of cars are sold in the other markets and if they comply with the local emission norms, they can be sold in the market legally without any crash testing, which means that some of the investment can be saved by doing so in those markets. That is the main aim of the way of selling the TCA in the global market. And the best way, the most cost-effective way of making sure that the TCA complies with the emission norms of those countries is to make an electric TCA and completely ditching an internal combustion engine on the car. And that's the main reason why the TCA will not be offered with an internal combustion engine even in India. The second major update is that the development of the body and the chassis has been completed by DC Design and is production ready. But the development of the electric drivetrain is being done by a company in Switzerland. The name of the company was not disclosed by Mr. DC. Another update is that the battery capacity will be around 160 kilowatt hours, which will result in the TCA to get a 0 to 100 time of around 4 to 5.5 seconds. All of these facts were officially disclosed by Mr. DC in the interview. As of now, it is too soon to speculate the performance figures of the TCA, but considering the fact that the battery capacity will be 160 kilowatt hours, we can safely assume the power output of the TCA to be around 350 to 400 horsepower. The TCA will of course be rear wheel drive in the current configuration and can get a realistic real world range of around 300 kilometers in a single charge. Those figures will be really impressive for an Indian electric sports car. And now the most important thing which all of you guys have been eagerly waiting for, which is the expected launch of the car and the expected price tag of the car. Now I'm really glad to tell you guys that Mr. DC himself confirmed that the car will be launched at nearly 1 to 1.5 years from now, and the price tag of the car will be around 40 lakh rupees. Not ex-showroom but on road. Now that's a great news, as not a lot of reputed companies would be able to match the price tag of the car, let alone match the performance levels which the TCA would be able to offer at that price tag, even in the global markets. And that means that there will be finally a sports car which can showcase the performance car capabilities of an Indian manufacturer in a global scale. That's it. That's pretty much the updates which Mr. Chhabria gave. Let me know what are your thoughts about the upcoming electric TCA. If you are happy about the electrification decision by Mr. DC, or that you are against the electrification and still want an internal combustion engine, a V6 powered DCA from DC. That's pretty much it from my side. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe, as I'll be bringing more of these auto update episodes in the coming days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.